Across the country, little children have had their lemonade stands shut down because they didn't have a costly business license or food handler's permit. So a few years ago, we persuaded the Utah legislature to pass the country's first lemonade stand law, which prevents local governments from making kids get these permission slips in order to operate a small business. Since then, with the help of dozens of volunteers, we've given thousands of children a fun and educational experience about small business by operating the Children's Entrepreneur Market, which brings together hundreds of kids at each market to offer something for sale. They're able to learn about product development, pricing, marketing, customer service, and much more, and they love it. But while the previous law protected minors from local governments and the permission slip regime, it did not shield them from the tax commission. Last year, the Utah State Tax Commission began arguing that the children participating in our markets were obligated to collect and remit sales tax for the items they sold. Here's the awkward thing: they were not actually required to do this. In Utah, anyone selling a small amount of things each year is exempt from collecting and remitting the tax, including children, and the Tax Commission agreed with this. So why all the fuss about our kids' markets? Well, the Tax Commission argued that they don't know which people participating in a special event have the exemption and which do not. So they wanted everyone to fill out their tax forms and provide information to the government. It was particularly awkward at one of the children's markets, watching a government employee give young children a complicated tax form and explain how it should be filled out. It was clearly a silly thing to see and became the impetus for another bill to close this loophole. Partnering once again with Senator Jake Anderegg, we developed legislation that clarified the law so that those who are exempt are no longer required to fill out these extra forms and pay any taxes merely because they were selling through an event instead of on their own. Senate Bill 194 passed unanimously. As a result, Utah now has a fully free market for kids. No permits, no licenses, no taxes. Our children's markets can operate freely and without bureaucratic hassle, and kids throughout the Beehive State can continue flexing their entrepreneurial muscles without worrying about Uncle Sam. For Libertas Institute, I'm Michelle Eden.